Hi, I'm Andy Kumalo, and you're watching Entrepreneurs Stay Alive, brought to you by I'm an Entrepreneur. One of the initiatives that have come from government is how to support small businesses with keeping their employees and making sure that they still have a job after COVID-19. Of course, this is very difficult for small businesses to do, especially those that have been forced to shut down completely during this period of time. The UIF, of course, through the Department of Labor, has come through with some initiatives that Matsi will be taking me through. You know her, she's the Chief Executive of Furaha Africa Holdings and also the Vice Chairperson of SiMODiSA. This one here, Matsi, is very interesting, but take us through the detail. How will it actually work?
So the Unemployment Insurance Fund, UIF, has come up with the Temporary Employer Relief Scheme, TERS, as they would commonly call it. And in essence, this aims to provide emergency relief to employers so that they may continue to be able to pay their employees whilst they are temporarily laid off. And it said that it's available to employers who closes its operations due to COVID. So you have to be able to prove that the reason why you've closed down is primarily because of COVID. So that is one of the criterias. And in essence, the employer has to submit a claim for this TERS benefit, and if successful, pays the necessary over to the employers. So employees don't necessarily apply directly to the UIF as would normally happen. The employers have to apply on behalf of the employees in this instance, and then the UIF would pay it over to the employers, and then they would be able to pay it over to the employees.
Obviously, this is trying to take care of that period of time. And when I read the document from government, it spoke about they will be on unpaid leave. So that means I, the entrepreneur, will keep them employed, and they will be on unpaid leave from my perspective because I can't pay. And then I would apply for this facility at UIF and pay them. What happens if this is extended? Presumably, this is to pay their salaries at the end of April. But if come April 16, this is extended longer, will government have the money to keep this going?
Well, that's the dilemma that we have now. And people see the fact that we have a lockdown as a good and a bad thing. It's a good thing that we are trying to curb the spread of the coronavirus, but it's a bad thing that it's going to have an adverse impact on the economy. And the more people are locked out of the economy, the more they're not able to trade, the bigger the impact. And also what I've picked up is that a lot of these are reviewable. A lot of the writing that has been projected is that as and when as it comes, so it's reviewable, but obviously we are, a government or economy that has limited funding. Yeah. So at some point we have to find a balance between our ability to continue looking at budgets within the government that can accommodate for this, and also then how do we continue, but the sad thing is that this is not just a dilemma for small businesses. Big businesses are also starting to come to a realization that they're not able to continue. For example, I read, we heard about EdCon, the very, very not so nice. They basically came out and said it's going to be very difficult to pay suppliers. And then this morning I read that Pan Golding is also looking into reducing some of the working hours of the employers. So big companies are also going to tank. So this is not something that can happen in infinity. There has to be a balance between how far can we carry this and when are we actually going to now get people to start running their businesses.
Exactly. And I guess that talks to potentially the debate about the extension of the lockdown. At some point, you're going to have to allow some normality to happen while you're trying to get, control and containment of this virus. This lockdown can't go on forever because no one has got a bottomless pits of funding to fund the economy until the end of time.
But we have faith in our president. I think so far he's been able to be agile, sure. And I'm sure they're utilizing this time. By day 21, they should have projected what's happening, what's going to happen, and they should be able to put something good in place. Hopefully, also globally, there's going to be some funding relief that sovereign countries like ours are able to tap into so that we are able to balance the curbing of the of the pandemic, and then also continuation of our economy.
Indeed, let's leave it there, Matsi. So there you go, guys. This is the UIF Temporary Employer-Employee Relief Scheme. If you want to apply for it, this is the time to do it. I would imagine every single business that's not an essential service and pretty much shut down right now has to apply. And as Matsi has been saying, it's not likely to last forever, so don't miss your opportunity. The email address is COVID-19-TERS. That's COVID-19-TERS at labor.gov.za. Make sure you apply for yourself and for your staff to make sure that they get some kind of income during this time when you are unable to pay them a salary.